Hello. Today we're going to learn how to draw the same design but with different depth. The last time that we did this here, we started with the depth measurement of 1.5 centimeters to the side over this way. So now we're going to change the measurement. Instead of going to the side, we're going to go to the bottom. And we're going to see how this design changes. So again, just by changing measurements and positions is going to make things a little different. But before we start, I want to go ahead again and remind you that this is a lesson. It's a lesson. It's really more for learning than entertainment. But the boxes here, the lettering that we're going to work with are going to be, I'm going to go ahead and trace this one here pretty quickly just to get an idea. They're going to be 5 centimeters, and again the measurement centimeter and 5 in this case is to make it easier. You can change the sizes and measurement, either thicker, thinner, the center, any way you want. Okay, so and also you can use inches instead of centimeters. You can use inches, whatever you feel more comfortable with, wherever it calls for. So this here, the vertical ones are going to be 1 centimeter also, and the horizontals are going to be 1 centimeter, and each of these squares are going to be 5 by 5. And we're going to have 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 by 5 is 20. And we want to go ahead and center this. So we're going to go ahead and just so that we'll know where we're working, we're going to set a 1 centimeter border. Make sure that your measurement, check and see where your measurement starts on the ruler. And I'm going to do a 1 centimeter border all the way around. So in this case, it's almost 28 centimeters all the way across. So I don't have to move my ruler. Put my pencil on one of the dots and draw my line. And the lines on the video are going to be a little darker than you usually would do it, so that we can see it on the video. Otherwise, you do them very light. So you don't have to, when you erase, you don't have to worry about leaving a mark behind. Okay, 1 centimeter top and 1 centimeter bottom. Yeah, we go across here. Again, I get one, put my pencil on one of the dots so that I know it doesn't move. And there's my 1 centimeter. But since we have a 5 centimeter squares, and we're going to have a 1 centimeter distance between them, so that's 3. So excuse me, 3, so that's 23. Okay, so now if we look across here, we look that we do have 23 centimeters from one side to the other. And if we want to center it inside here, so if we have 23 centimeters from one side of the letter to the other, okay, well, what is the centimeter measurement all the way across? Is 28. So we have 28 from one side of the paper to the other minus 23 for our letters. That gives us 5. So what is half of 5? Because we have one side and one side. So that's going to give you half. Is going to be 2.5, 2.5. Okay, so the beginning of our letter here is 2.5. So I can either do it from the edge of the paper, 2.5, or I can do half of that, which would be 1.5. So you go 2.5 here, 2.5 here. Then you do the same thing over here. Let's go backward. 1, 2.5. And then 2.5. Then we draw our lines. Remember, you draw them lightly on yours. Put my pencil on one of the dots and draw my line. That doesn't look right here. Let's see what happened. What did I do wrong? 2.5. You see? Made a mistake. You can immediately tell if you made a mistake. I did my measurement from the line and I'm getting one from the line. So I'll go ahead and redraw it, no problem. There you go. So now we can go ahead and erase this other one that we don't need here. That we made a mistake. Hold your paper. And you see, even though I'm making my lines, drawing my lines dark, or line segments, they're not going to be lines, or line segments. Erases easily. So now in between that you have 23.5. Let's see, 20, 0, 20, 23. There it is, 23, 23. So now let's go ahead. On this one here, I didn't center it horizontally, but I'm going to go see and try. So it's 5, right? So it's 5. And this is an uneven. Here we have 21. So we'll go with let's say, let's go with a top line and the bottom line. You can also use the edge of the paper to the edge of the paper. And we're going to do a little trick that I learned. If I don't have it even, I can go out this way. You see here, 0 to 19.5. Well, I'm going to even it out. And I'm going to go 0 to 20. 0 up on top. And angle it diagonally here to 20. Let's see, right there. So half of 20 is 10. I make my dot at 10. Okay. And we know that these are 5. So let me show you over here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the center here is going to be in here. So that would give us, it will give us 1, 2.5. So we will go 2.5 down. From here, we go up 2.5 up to 0, 2.5 down to 5. Now I'm going to take my T-square, line up my ruler with the line over here on the side, and draw my line all the way across, and we should have it even. So it's going to go across like this. It's going to go across like this. So now, if I did it right, I should have the same thing here, and I should have about the same thing here. So that's 7 3 centimeters. 7 3 centimeters. Very good. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go 5 space 5 space 5 space 5. So we're going to go 5. Again, let me emphasize space. 6 and 5 is 11. 1 space. And then 12 and 5 is 17. 1 space. And 10, it's 18 and 5 is 23. There you go. So I'm going to line up my ruler here at the bottom. Again, just to draw my lines. And make sure it doesn't move. Line up my pencil with a dot. Line up my pencil with a dot. So it's L-O-V-E. So now, just for learning purposes, I'm going to go ahead and make the measurements. Okay. So now, if I am familiar with the process, and I look, I notice that I'll need this side and the bottom. So that's what I could measure here. And on this second one, I would just measure the vertical and the horizontal measurements. This way I wouldn't have to do them all. But since it's a lesson, I am going to do it so that we can get a better idea. Did you remember to subscribe, like, comment, and share? Appreciate it. Anyway, as a matter of fact, so now we're going to draw the letter. So I'm going to outline it a little dark. So this is going to be the L, and I'm going to draw a darker line. This is going to be the O. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and set our vanishing point. In this case, we have our vanishing point here at the edge of the paper. And all these lines, diminishing lines, go to the vanishing point. We're going to move our vanishing point to the corner here of the border. And we're going to draw our lines. Now here, every corner the faces of vanishing point is going to go. But except where you have to go inside the letters, you don't do those. Again, every corner, if something gets in the way, you stop. Here we do this, we start this one, but it hits here and it stops. We don't do this one because it's inside. So remember that. If you have to go inside, don't do it. If you start and you hit something, you stop. Now we have our lines to the vanishing point. I think I've got them all. But now, in this case, we measured, again, we can do the depth any way, any measurement we want, working on what you have. But now, last time on this one here, we measured out this way. So we looked at 1.5 centimeters. We're going to use the same measurement for this one, but instead of going like this, which I went ahead and did like this, let me show you. I went ahead and lined up the 1.5, which is this right here. We're going to measure down like this, 1.5 down this way, and it's going to change. So we go 1.5. Instead of going like this, we do it over here, 1 1/2. Now what we're going to try to do is copy this basis here. So I look for this here. For example, let me line it up. I'm going to draw this part here. This part here. This to this here. You see how it counts here? Counts here, then this one here. There. Okay? So now we're going to draw this vertical line. This corner is this corner, it goes up. So I follow, and well, we can do our ruler if you want. We can go ahead and line this up. Let's see, what would be easier? I think we can do it this way. Yeah. Okay. So now I'm gonna copy this corner as this, but it goes up. So I go ahead and line up the intersection up. We'll come back to the V in just a minute. Here's this corner, hits here, and it goes up. I go up. I hit something, and you see how it comes over this way, behind it. Okay, it's behind, so I take it over, I climb over that. Then this corner is this corner, it goes up. So I go ahead and line up. Here you go. So now the V is this corner, which is this one, but it angles. So I have to follow that diagonal line, that angle line, visually for our purpose right now. And there you go. So now I'm going to outline it with a marker, just the shadows. Okay. So now we have our LOVE in a one perspective point, and we're done with that. So now we can erase. Can erase the rest of the lines, and we're about right now. I'm going to do my board, and with this here again, setting up your own measurements, setting up your number of letters is going to be your decision, but at least you have an idea now. And I showed you. Okay, here we go, and we can erase the. Oh, you see what happens? You have to be careful. Don't get too excited. And just to summarize, I taught you how to center horizontally by taking your measurements and the measurements of your letters, including the spacing, and then horizontally we went ahead from vertically now from here to here. You measure your distances, the same thing here. In this case it's just going to be the letters and then what you have left over. And here's your letters in a 1-point perspective, but instead of having the measurement done to the side like we did on this one, we did it to the bottom, and then the bottom dictates. So you have here measurement to the side, okay, and that dictated this point here to across. And on this one we did the measurement down this way, and then we went ahead and that dictated what this depth is going to be. So love. I hope you learned something, and don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share, please. Thank you. Good day.